It's December 6, 2021. I haven't shot a video in a while. I thought this would be a good practice video to remind myself how to operate the camera. I don't like the sound that it makes when you swallow with the microphone, a big squishing sound. I'm going to speak my thoughts. I'm quieting my mind down. I want to get to a quiet place. Doing that by relaxing my whole body. Squirrel just ran across that tree to distract me. The lungs are heavy, going to the bottom of the breath. I'm pausing there for a second. Sun's making shadows and marks on the floor and on the wall. Just using my senses, not planning what I'm going to say or what's happening or going to happen. I'm present, trying to be present. Okay. So I have the water turned off to the house because I'm putting a new hot water heater in today. New hot water heaters down there, and the old one's draining. So I don't have any water. So I can't use the bathroom or wash my hands. So I wash my hands in distilled water that I put in my coffee machine. Okay. One of the recurring situations that comes up in my life is I'll see things on TV or hear people talk from an unawake position, from an unawake point of view. Now, I'm not saying unawake as a judging they're not awake thing, just an observation that the advertising committee and the marketing people at Apple are trying to sell phones, or LG trying to sell a refrigerator. They're not concerned about being present. So here's a good example of that. So I see these things sometimes with my friends, not too often, because they're pretty, they're awakening or have awakened to some extent, and they're quiet inside. So they don't often have big clinkers. So here's an ad out of this newspaper. Ryan Gosling is driving this vintage sports car. And he has this fancy wristwatch on by TAG Heuer. So the marketing people at TAG Heuer have a catchy little thing that he might be saying. And what he's saying is, quote, "I've learned not to take time for granted. What drives me is knowing that the clock is ticking." When I saw that in the paper a few days ago, this ad, I thought, okay, the clock is ticking. There is no clock. The concept of a clock in this in this advertisement, what drives me is knowing that the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking as a concept or an idea that there's a future. It's not being present. It would have been better if Ryan had stopped with I've learned not to take time for granted. That I'm on board with. Live life in the present moment. Live life like this is our only life, is this present moment. And that's true. Carpe diem. Seize the day, same thing. Those are solid. That's solid. I've learned not to take time for granted. That's good, but the clock is ticking. Yeah. He's saying that we're going to die someday. That's not true. We don't die, and there is no clock. Hence this video. This is the kind of thing that comes up. It's almost like I'm leading, that I'm two people, that I'm Paul the body, and then the other thing, not Paul the body, but the essence, or the entity that is present and awake. And there's two of them, two things. And when I'm in an awake or a semi-awake state, that kind of thing feels funny to me, because I know it's not true. Okay, well, I didn't know where I was going to go with this video, only that I thought that would be fun. The clock is not ticking. And I like sports cars. I don't know what kind of car it is. I'm guessing it's a Porsche 356, model 356, the convertible that James Dean had. With that little crease in the side. Okay. Is there anything else to say about this? My body's heavy, sort of melting into the chair. The weight of the body. Deep breaths down to the bottom of the breath. Lungs are heavy. The mind stops for a moment. Thinking stops, I mean. The senses are working. I can hear my voice bouncing around in the room. But the words, they're just going away. The words that I'm speaking. There's nothing after the words. Just a hum. Refrigerator's making. Sense that I'm alive, that the body is alive. Blood is moving through the veins. Feel the warm air coming in and out of the mouth. I think I'm going to stop here. I just wanted to warm up my camera and my video process. I have to put my hot water tank in now. Lest I don't have any, I can't use the toilet. I can't wash my hands. So I better get to work before the sun sets. And the hardware store closes.